I did, but then I saw the T-pose and I was like, I prefer the T-pose.
Well, yes, but there's a giant grid behind said T-pose. And I knew how to get rid of the T-pose.
Us mere mortals don't know how to do that.
Yeah, it has a certain charm though.
The grid?
Yeah. Just accompanied with the T-pose. Just together it forms one perfect model.
The T-pose are like grid.
It's like when you get the it's like when you get texture errors. Or I used to when I first tried to play Gary's one, everything was these pink and black squares, and I had no idea what the fuck they were supposed to be.
Yeah.
Put my max setup. I'm just gonna see that X and Y skill, and it is. Ooh.
And we're live.
And I'm gonna do that live fade, except it's already nearly faded out. Nice, it's done.
Are our webcams looking alright?
Oh no.
Yeah, you'll need to go into the call.
Yeah. Whoops. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
And just like that.
I'm gonna have to change this again afterwards, but that's something for later.
Yeah. We can high five each other.
Yeah. Let's go escape off the screen as well. One of my favorite video game OST things.
OSTs, yeah.
Soundtrack.
Totally.
Like that song in particular is fucking rad. Is anyone in the chat yet? I mean, I'm not looking on my phone.
This is in chat. No one I recognize.
But I do mean
welcome.
No one.
What I recognize, so get out of here.
Yeah.
Highest bits first.
Identify yourself.
Out yourself. Oh, Friendly Geordies is on. We haven't talked about. You can't start yet because we haven't talked about Friendly Geordies.
The master of ceremonies himself, but not on par of X and Y.
It wouldn't be an X and Y podcast episode without some Friendly Geordies discourse to kick us off.
Would not. Honestly, it's like I don't want that to be a fixture because like I don't want to have to read up about this guy.
Yeah, no.
I just don't. I've seen enough, you know.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm.
It's a fun world. Not really. I know.
Nope.
This is one video that he made about going to Bali that I used to fucking love as a youngster.
I loved his video about Stereosonic. That was great.
Yeah, probably that one too. Those ones. Oh, no, such a pivot. Why do people... I don't know. You live long enough to see yourself become the villain. Go back to fucking talking about Warhammer.
Take the politics out of comedy.
Yeah. Should we just start this? It's already late. Let's get started.
Yeah. I'll drop. Let's go.
Welcome to Pokemon X and Y.
Sorry, what X and Y?
Oh, fuck. Whoops. Welcome to X and Y.
I did the same thing last night.
Sorry,
X and Y. Crash X and Y.
X and Y. I'm Brandon.
I'm Bianca.
I'm DB.
Ah, yes. We did the fucking thing, except for when I said Pokemon. Before we start, though, I'd like to pay our respects to the indigenous people of the Eora Nation, the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, and the other one, which I always forget.
Camaragal people.
Camaragal people. I'm going to write that down for next time. But we pay our respects to elders past and present and the traditional owners of the land that we're recording our streams on today, our respective streams. Probably should have,
streams, haven't we?
yeah, probably should have had a different picture up on the screen when I was saying all that. But
oh, look, we've encountered this before. I feel like this tunnel.
yeah.
This chunked. Horses bolted, you know.
Before we get started, though, there was a Pokemon Direct, and we need to talk about them because there was 2 new Pokemon designs. Most of the stuff was like rehashing of things that we'd already seen, but more gameplay details, which sounds fun. But we don't need to discuss that.
Okay.
We
Kill
can.
the boss. The
We
Pokeboss.
we talked about everything else last time, but there's 2 actual new designs. First off, which is Galarian Slowking. This is one of those things I haven't actually looked at this properly to process everything that's going on. I've just noticed the design of these eyes.
Oh yeah.
Alluring, are they not?
Painted?
I don't know. I like that the idea, I guess, is that it's the actual Shelder on its head. But that's not where Shelder, as we all know, Shelder doesn't look like that anyway. That's not where Shelder's eyes go. So
So is there a Galarian Shelder as well?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Good question,
This-
actually, because that would make sense.
That would make a lot of sense. I don't think there is, though. Is
No.
Shelter even in the game? Like,
Yeah,
did he
yeah,
get
because
cut?
Cloister is, yeah.
Oh, okay, yep.
Actually, that's a really good point because they're like, oh, the way that Galarian Slowbro evolves, it's like, oh, Galarian Slowbro got bitten by a poisoned Cloister, and now
Is this a
look.
Pokedex entry saying
Yeah,
that? Or?
yeah.
Yeah.
So my assumption here is that it got bitten on the head instead of the arm, like Galarian Slowbro, which all makes sense. But yeah, the poison aspect. Shelder is not known to be a poison Pokemon.
Yeah.
Not now, not ever.
I feel like that would have been pretty simple. Just make a Galarian. Lots of Pokemon get region specific forms now, right?
Sure.
It's not like it's a like only special Pokemon get them.
Yeah.
Because Stunfisk got one and he is not special.
That's the exact same example I was going to pull out as well.
So it would have been a relatively simple task to simply make one that looked like this that was poison.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to look exactly right because there's lots of instances of that where there's the reference on a Pokemon, they don't look how they should. But like, or are there lots, or am I just making that up? But it's fine if it's not exactly looking the same, but it's got to look a little bit like it. It's got to at least exist.
Yeah, I feel like, I mean, they've done like sea urchins and stuff before, but I feel like that would be an easy way of doing that. Make it like a water poison type. That's been done to death, so maybe like ice poison would be super interesting because Cloister's also ice type. I don't know how you'd get around that, but that typing definitely hasn't been used before.
Yeah.
Ice
I like these unique typings.
Yeah.
I like it when they come out with like new and interesting ones. I remember being really interested in Stunfisk for that reason, and well, unfortunately, he sucked.
Luckily, Zapdos is coming out. Anyway.
I have a question. What's up with the coloring on his body? It's like it looks like shade if you're looking at the bottom half, but then it's straight up purple when you move
Yeah,
up.
it's supposed to be emblematic of the poisoning, is the idea.
Okay.
Yeah.
It just looks like there's something casting shadow in an extremely strange way.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I think it's because the idea is that the poison's coming from the top down and it's slowly going down over its body.
Okay.
It is on his tail too, though.
Yeah, but you know.
From his
Yeah.
extremities.
It's weird because there's a lot of shadows on it.
Yeah.
There's right from the top. There's shadows from the actual Cloister on itself. Then there's the shadow on his head, like on his face, over his mouth. Then there's the shadow on his shoulders from his head and the thing. And then
Yeah,
there's
what is
like a
the thing?
little
What's the term for it? Collar?
his crown, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because then there's another shadow from his cape. For
Oh,
whatever
it's a
we're
cape.
calling
Okay.
that.
Oh, of course
Yeah.
it's a cape.
And I don't know. There's a lot of different shadows. I don't know if there necessarily need to be so many. Can't they just make the lighting come from somewhere else? So it's easier.
Yeah, once
Yeah, it's a bit much. You reckon
Yeah.
James Turner had a hand in this or no?
I don't know. I don't get that. I don't feel that from this.
once the game actually comes, or once these actually come out, we'll be able to look at it in a 3D model, so that will help us understand what is shade and what isn't.
And
Yeah.
what motivates the green gem in the forehead?
I think Slowbro had that originally.
Oh, it had that already?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah,
but it
but-
was red, wasn't it?
Yeah, so that's a question you'd have to bring up with original Slowbro.
Green like the fields of England.
Exactly. The other one was another in the Reggie line. We already saw the Dragon Reggie. We fucking needed another one, apparently. This is Reggie Lecky, or Reggie Elecki.
Regialecki. Yes. I don't know. I didn't listen to the direct, so.
He looks like he's
They didn't
T-posing
say it, they didn't
too.
pronounce it. He's also T-posing, yeah. Bianca, I know you're not a huge fan on the Reggies. I don't really... The Reggies... Hey, the Reggies. What else are you supposed to
It's
fucking
me,
call them?
Reggie.
I don't... I
That's
just...
what they called. That's what they get called.
Why are they being fucking... Why are they adding new ones of these?
I don't know.
And
Why don't they
two
not
of
call
them.
this thing Reggie Watts? It writes
Reggie
itself.
Watts.
Hey,
Reggie Watts.
Hey,
true.
that's for 3.
Babadaboopy. Yeah, why are they adding more? And why are they getting 2? There's
Yeah.
plenty of evolutions that can be created.
Yeah,
Which one are you crying? We may have covered this, but which evolution are you crying out for the most? What type?
Any. I actually don't care, but I think
okay.
yeah.
Poison. I
There's
would love a poison.
Poison. I think that'd be some that would be more interesting than others, but I don't care which type in particular.
I reckon they should start doing dual type.
Yeah, fuck it.
Just do it. Why not?
Yeah.
How does that affect the naming scheme? Will it get too complicated or not? Do you not
Nah.
give a shit?
They'll figure it out.
Yeah.
They don't seem to have any problems when it comes up to coming with names.
Yeah.
That's true.
Speaking of, Reggie Lecky.
Yeah. We have the I don't understand, like, from a design point.
Oh, it's a light
we
bulb.
have-
Sorry.
Oh yeah, it's a light bulb. Thank you for that.
Cool.
We have Rotom, right, which has all these different types.
Yes.
And then we have the Reggies, which also have all these different types.
Hey. Thank you.
Hey.
For the follow. Yeah, I didn't know what to do with the alert box. It's just there.
Yeah.
Thank you,
That's okay.
Photog TM, for the follow. Yeah,
And,
we already have that going on.
Also, Ghost type Eevee, I take it back. Fuck Poison.
Yeah,
Give
that'd be
Ghost
really
Eevee.
cool.
Yeah.
But you could say that for like all the cool types, though. I guess there's definitely not all types are the same.
Dragon Eevee.
Dragon, Ghost.
Yep.
Yep.
Umbreon is psychic, yeah?
Umbreon is dark.
Oh, sorry, Espeon is psychic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the cool ones. Actually, yeah, it's pretty much Dragon and Ghost are the last cool ones left to go. Fighting would be interesting, but it would be like a little dog thing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think it'd be that original. Anyway, fuck this Reggie Lecky thing. I don't care.
Yeah.
Put it in the bin.
Put it in the bin. So let's go to our central question. As much as this show is about answering the questions, it's also about how did we come to this question? Like what brought us here and the journey that we took to even attempt to get to a question. Initially, I just thought this was going to be, let's just look at some Crash designs over the years, see if any of them invoke horny energy. But we need to start at a baseline, which is what are we talking about here? And the only way that I could describe it is that it's the vibe, or you'll know it when you see it.
And they'll know, you'll know, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the thing that sets Crash apart is like just the slightest wink, even if it's just like a punny level name or a sly joke in the way someone pronounces their dialogue. It's the slowest wink.
Well, that's the
big
thing.
enough for children to see.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. We'll get into that. I mean, I only came up with this idea a couple of hours before we started the show, so I could have done extensive research. I also saw Brian Gilbert put out his Crash video, which I was keen to watch that this morning, and then I was like, hang on, I'm going to do a presentation on this. I will 100% be influenced if I watch this. Maybe I should watch this afterwards.
We don't want you to just recycle Brian David Gilbert opinions here.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you ever catch yourself singing his songs, Brendan?
Oh, all the time. Hi, my name is Brian. I have shingles, so I'm told. Da, 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 da.
Yeah.
I also had shingles, so I very much relate to his song about shingles.
Oh.
And I also convinced myself that I had shingles again, but I think I should be okay. I don't think I do.
Can you get shingles again?
Yes. It's very difficult. However, the scenario when I first got shingles, it almost identically mimics the scenario that I'm in at the moment. Hey, who else wants some more shingles facts?
Is Crash Bandicoot a haver of shingles?
Correct. Probably. He seems very stressed.
Sibling song. I'm also constantly thinking about the
Sid-
sibling song. And the one where he made the video about buying his bed. That's a favourite of mine.
By my bed. Yeah, anyway, good songs. So yeah, I initially thought let's go over some characters. But that's how we're going to start. And then I realized that the question actually has to be answered. But let's start with our initial premise of going through these characters, seeing if any of them actually have horny energy or not.
And sorry, just before we start, when we say is Crash horny, is Crash Bandicoot the playable character Horny, or is Crash the franchise Horny?
We're talking about we're talking about the franchise for sure.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
all right.
The franchise.
We'll talk about some characters, and then I'll actually get into some spicy dates before we look at these guys. We'll start off with a big hitter, which is Tiny. I'm glad that Debbie, you added this picture in the bottom right, because I remember that's how he comes up in like before the second last level you do before you fight him as a boss, and probably the one right before the boss as well. I remember being so times, the perspective in these little moments is just really cool, and something I think about associate a lot with Crash. These forced perspectives where they're staring you directly on the camera really closely. But I got confused about what was going on with his hat. To me, it looked like a sort of safari hat, but I know that it's supposed to be like a Greek. I don't know what you call them.
The hats with the broomsticks on the ends of them.
That's right.
Constantly like.
That's what I call them.
This is before Crash 4. Crash 4 does this really nice thing where it actually themes the world collections. Before it was just warp rooms, and you just went any which area. I mean, they were generally like. The sewer area in Crash 2 had more sewer levels, but you would still jump back to a snow level if it suited the game or whatever.
Yeah.
But in this one, but in Crash 4, like you go through themed worlds like Future City or whatever.
Yeah.
But because Crash 3 isn't like that, you have no idea what Tiny is supposed to be. You're not in the Roman Centurion era already, so it's anyone's guess what it's supposed to be. So the fact that you didn't know what the hat was, I completely understand.
That's a good point, yeah, because he's in I guess it's European medieval sort of. Like,
well, it's a Centurion hat.
No, but I mean like the theme of the first sort of zone in Crash 3. It's like, like Western European sort of medieval fantasy, I guess.
That's what the warp room looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
That's right.
New Orleans world in Crash 4 is a fave. Interesting. So Tiny, I should say, in the middle. Oh, I forgot to put Crunch in this presentation. If anyone wants to go and add some pictures of Crunch,
I'll put some pictures of Crunch in for you.
Thank you.
If you could, that'd be great. Yeah.
Yeah.
We all want to see Crunch.
I'll put him in later.
Yeah.
So Tiny in the middle is him in the remakes. The picture on the left you suggested because that's like a Easter egg in the new game, a portrait of him, I believe.
Yeah, he's not in the game, but he's visible via that portrait. And I stopped and took a screenshot because I thought that is a handsome render of Tiny.
I don't know.
Like, he looks suave and articulate, which is historically not what Tiny is about. So
I don't know why, but I always Tiny was always my favorite of the side characters. But this picture in the middle is how I remember him mostly. T-posing.
Yeah. Just scary.
But very scary.
No, I don't think he's T-posing. I think he does that before his boss fight.
Probably. Yeah, in Crash 2 or whatever.
Just those massive claws, I think, are such a defining feature for him.
Also, his teeth have been filed down in 3, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I'll believe it.
Horny energy, how are we thinking? I think I don't think there's anything. Also, he has a very big upper body, and he skipped leg day, am I right?
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Gym memes.
Yeah, and got that Tarzan loincloth. I mean, you're going for a vibe, plus shoulder pads. It's a bit Kraven the Hunter, it's just very, very kind of minimal.
But in saying all of these things, I don't think, like, it's kind
sneakers, though. I just noticed the sneakers.
Like Dom has pointed out in the chat. That's like not what they're going for. Like, that's the energy that we're inferring. Like, if you a heavy horny energy, then they're not really going for that. And this is where we're leading. Like, this is why I wanted to get Tiger out of the way first. If that all makes sense. Are there any questions?
I just wonder about like that thesis in light of Crash 4, because as I said, in Crash 4 he's not a focus. So clearly whatever artist did that portrait could go hog wild, and I think the artist is kind of smitten with Tiny a little bit.
Bit horny.
Just a little. I mean, there is a come hither energy, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a dedication to make, and like the head is so much smaller than the body than in his other renders.
True.
Such an
If you want to talk about big ol' himbo energy, that's why we need to talk about Crunch.
We do, yeah.
The Crunch.
It's not really a himbo. He's just like He's a caveman.
I would say inferred horny energy. Yes, in hindsight, in terms of the furry community and everything we now associate with horny. As an intended energy to put onto Tiny, no. But let's move on. I didn't really have much to say about Dingo Child. I was going to include it though. What is this picture that you've put in the middle here?
Of Dingo Dial?
Yeah.
Well, in the middle, that's how he is in Crash 4.
Okay.
So he's got a lot more fur. He's a bit more stocky than you've seen in the other games, which is what that's the Crash 3 render in the top left. And he's more or less a good guy. He's just he gets thrown out of his swamp by all the goings on in the game, and he just wants to find his way back home. That's all
like
he really
Shrek.
wants. Yeah, and he runs a diner as well, so it's like, and it's kind of dodgy and run down, but it's like his heart's in it.
And he also looks a bit like Donkey.
He really does. Yeah, the ears have like there's pink skin in the ears now, so it's like that's just, he hasn't lost that kind of beastly nature, but he's a bit more cuddly. I don't know. He's a bit more friendly. He's a bit more approachable. Yeah. So I just wonder. I just feel like it's compelling to like compare the two and question whether he's gotten more horny with time or not.
Compare the pair. Bianca, do you want to weigh in on this?
So Dingodile is actually one of my favorites because he's so silly. Like, as in, he's a dingo and he's a crocodile and he has a flamethrower. I mean, what's not to love? He was a great character, and he was I really liked him in Crash Team Racing as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I haven't played Crash 4 yet. I will, but I haven't yet. So I don't know if I love the new look because he looks a little bit too like that screenshot looks chunkier, which isn't a bad thing to go in, but like he's very tall and like standing up. He always looks like a kangaroo a little bit the way he's standing up straight with the big tail.
It's an odd angle, granted.
Yeah.
So maybe definitely see how he is in the game because your mind might change a bit.
Yeah, not horny. I'm pretty sure. Am I thinking right in Crash Bash? I'm pretty sure it's Dingodile and Tiger joined the good team
To make up the numbers, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Aku and Uka have different sides, and there's only two, Crash and Coco on Aku's side, so they have to take two of his baddies to make it even.
I like that.
I mean, it's only fair.
Yeah.
It's only fair.
I would love to be a fly on the wall for that conversation, how they settled on the two of them. Like, okay, who has the most repute in the Crash community? How do they measure that? Like,
or was it simply the dartboard method?
Embryo. I always liked Embryo's design. I think it was like, I remember playing Crash 2 for the first time and getting a gem for the first time, and Embryo talks to you, and not knowing anything about the game, I thought I had unlocked some big secret. I was like, who the fuck is this guy? Like, I was like, whoa, am I like in a hidden part of the game or something like that? I think that's why I like his design, just because it gives me a nice memory.
There's no N on his head. It's like, hang on, what am I meant to make of this?
Yeah, and that's kind of the point, right? Like, he's tempting you and telling you to give you gems. None of this is horny. Let's move on. Now, I forgot to include Pinstripe as well.
Pinstripe, yeah.
Now, who was it? Bianca, I hope it wasn't you. Who was it that was trying to tell me that Engine is female? It might have been Ray. I think
it wasn't me. It must have been Ray.
I'm pretty sure it was Ray. And I was like, that's no, not at all. Not at all right. I'm also just noticing Entropy's got an entire set of Roman numerals for every number on his chest.
That is some next-gen PS1 processing.
Yeah, they're cramming in a lot of characters in there. I mean, they're not actual characters because it's an image, obviously. But I only just noticed how much they went into that. And for a guy about time... Oh no, he's got four clocks on him.
Yeah.
But why does he have a tuning fork? Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Forks. He's got one on his head and one as his weapon, right? Like,
yeah.
I don't understand that. I've never understood that. Because that's the first thing I thought too. I was like, that's a tuning fork. That's what that is. It's got nothing to do with time, or at least that I'm aware of.
Yeah. Any insights, DB? Do you have any?
I wonder what he would look like without the head fork, for one. And like if they decided that it's like, nah, looks too much like a Russian oligarch or something like that. I don't know.
Like,
And there
would
is
that be
something
the shape
vaguely.
of his head? Like, would he have that? Would his head still have the shape of the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
maybe
is
they
it
wanted to
just
It's like a
simulate
like-
fez.
the-
I've
Or is it
I've,
flat?
I've always seen it like a fez sort of thing. Tunic fork fez hat.
Entropy is great in Crashfall. He's basically the main antagonist. He's got it like a properly wicked vibe about him. He's like properly cruel. Like Crash 3, you got to the middle of the game and he was done, and that was it. Even though he had invented the tech, and clearly Crash 4, someone was in the writers' room and was like, I was actually really intimidated by this guy. I'm sad they didn't do more with him. And they're
Yeah.
like, well, why don't we do more with him? It's like, okay. And they do. And it's great. And as for N-Jin, God, I never liked N-Jin's voice. I don't like what they do to that. Like, it's just committing a little too hard to the bit. But I do really like the body shape. There's just something a little, just unusual about it. He's largely in mechs anyway, so it's not like it's affecting the ability to do anything. But just something about that is just striking, coupled with the rocket in the head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hate all of the N people except for Entropy. He's and he's the best of a bad bunch. But I think I wonder how much of my dislike of him comes from being unable to beat his time trials in Crash Team Racing, because that was a big source of frustration for me. So setting that aside, I think he has my favorite design, but I really dislike N-Jin a lot.
The underbite is a bit much as well.
There's
I think they
much.
just try a little too hard to make him kooky, you know?
Yeah,
They
that
didn't need as much
combined with
they
the
did.
voice, I don't vibe with it.
Yeah.
I don't trust like that.
Yeah, I don't.
Um,
I'm willing to buy right now.
now, if you want to talk about Horny, let's get to Crunch, baby.
Crunch.
So Crunch's first game is Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah.
He's not I don't think he's really endearing in any way. He's supposed to be like an out-and-out villain in that game. Very much the evil. I feel like Crunch is supposed to be what Cortex was going for when trying to make Crash in the first game.
We're trying to make Tiny. It's like splitting the difference between those two characters, I feel.
Yeah, that
The
too.
best of both worlds.
But Tiny is
But
is a Tasmanian tiger, not a
Yeah,
bandit.
but it leaves him feeling a little like a weak imitation of one or the other. Like he's not quite funny enough to be Crash. He's not quite brutal enough to be Boss, like Tiny.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I never played any mainline games after Wrath of Cortex, so I don't know what his role became after that, other than apparently being a
He was
himbo.
a good guy. He was like
Yeah.
the third good guy.
But
So they still needed one more for Crash Bash, but you know.
it seemed like
Made
that role should have been filled by Tiny. Yeah.
Tiny had a change of heart. Simple needs, so surely, you know.
This dude listens to Limp Bizkit. Same, bro. Same. We all listen to Limp Bizkit. Initially, Crunch, Horny, no. Over time, I'm going to say yes.
Did you say Tawny?
Probably.
Yeah, there's Horner and Tiny. It's easy to confuse.
I was trying to say Crunch, is he horny?
Oh,
Yeah.
my God. Crunch more like Rawny.
But
He's
this...
incredibly horny. Look at his goatee. Have we focused on that?
Oh,
He's got a
gross.
goatee.
What game is that from?
Yeah, that's horny. In which one?
So
No, which game? DB. I mean.
Yeah, I'm curious. I want to say Nitro Card. I mean, you could see the one on the right is Wrath of Cortex.
Yeah.
And you could see the origins of the goatee there, but it's still skin colored. Like they chickened out halfway.
Do you mean the
Yeah.
goatee in the top left corner?
Top left in the middle, yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say it's Nitro Card or
Top left
It's-
is Nitro Cup
it's-
for sure.
Yeah, they're both from Nitro. They're both from Crash Team Racing, Nitro fueled. So
Yeah, that's it.
the thing,
Sick.
the far left one is from Crash Team Turbo Racing, which is the one that they made for. They made one for one of the portable systems.
Okay.
It was this weird Crash Team Racing game that they made, which is the one that looks really weird, where he looks like he's a little bit too friendly, and his
Yeah,
eyebrows
so
aren't
it's
big
the
enough.
animation.
Oh, I hate that
Yeah.
one. I hate that one
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah, that's my least. I put it in there because it's so it's the logical halfway point between Crash 3. It's Crash 3 that he's in. No,
Wrath.
Wrath. That's right. Like that's the logical halfway point, but it's not good. It's
They
I
really
fucking love
Fucking
Crunch, by the
camo
way.
pants. You're not a veteran, dude. Get real. Like,
I
come on.
love-
Stolen
I
valor.
love it. He's so obnoxious. Everything about him is obnoxious and like aggressively insulting and like an assault on my senses, and I love it.
And the brace on his left arm, it's like, okay, cool, wow.
He would have a tribal tattoo. You know that that's true.
True. Better the devil we know. I don't know.
Yeah.
They really changed his design a lot. They softened it so much from the far right to.
And we need to mention Crash of the Titans, Mind of a Mutant. They gave him a jive voice.
Oh.
Yeah,
why
he
did
talks
they
like
do
a black
that?
guy. Like someone
was a
trying to
choice.
sound black.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
yeah, not like an actual black actor, like it's someone trying to sound black.
So here's where the presentation starts.
Okay. We're good with that baseline.
Out of all the characters we've talked about so far, what's the one thing that they all have in common?
They're all minions, basically.
They're not Crash.
They're not Crash. They're all something starting with the letter M as well.
Oh, except Tiny and Dingo Dog and Crunch.
They're all male, is what I'm getting at.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They're all male characters. There's two like named females, I guess, in the series, which is Coco and Torna. But before we get to that, something you've brought up, which is something that really throws this whole thing. So none of these guys so far, I'm talking about from first Crash game to Wrath of Cortex. I was having to think about it. And from what I can remember, and the cutscenes, I just watched all the cutscenes as well, there's zero horniness. The horniest that it ever gets is maybe Crash and Torna riding off at the end of Crash 1, or
Crash wiggling his eyebrows at the camera every time he rides an animal. Bit horny.
It's a bit horny. But I think what he's implying more is, this is going to be fun, and maybe this.
I get a Jackass vibe from that.
Yeah.
Watch this, bro. I'm about to ride this boar. This is gonna be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do a flip.
But on the whole, I would say zero sort of sexual, even innuendo or anything like that. There's none of that. Which takes us to the next picture, which is something you've brought up, which I think is very important, which is the marketing for these games. Given it was the 90s, brah, the first 3 games or whatever, I can't remember what year Crash 3 came out in, but the late 90s, early 2000s.
It would have been early 2000s, yeah.
A time of Limp Bizkit, a time of crude humor, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Especially in print ads. Especially in
Especially
just the thing.
Yeah, the thing for video games.
Yeah.
So this... try to spot where the name of this game is on the actual ad as well. This is for Twinsanity.
True.
Check out this wicked team move from Crash and Cortex. Humila Skate.
So you would think it's called Crash and Cortex, just from that.
Yeah. I think it was be called Humila Skate.
Yeah.
Starring
Crash and Cortex Humila Skate. So
starring my
skate
best friends
works,
Steve-O and Chris Pontius from Jackass.
Yeah.
Who said we give this game 10 out of 10 crutches. I actually quite like Steve-O now, current Steve-O.
Sure, but back then you would not have. It would not have been a ringing endorsement.
Well, I liked Jackass back then, but I was also a child.
Also, for the record, you never humiliskate in a grassy field. It's always down a snowy mountain. So this is like a little too idyllic for the activity.
Interesting.
Being portrayed.
There's also, it's kind of hard to see here. We'll see it closer in the next slide, but it says Twisted Humor, and it's got a picture of Cortex spanking Crash. So now that's what I call implicit horniness. Vic, he's getting a real good look. There'll be a better image on the next screen.
All right. So let's see that twisted humor.
Yeah, that funny South Park humor.
So funny.
But this is straight up horniness in advertising, and at no point had any game that I've played of Crash reached this level of horny. So apparently, after Naughty Dog dropped off, they just got real horny with the games as well as the marketing. There's previous marketing as well that we'll see. But yeah, why you do that? There's also a clip, which I'll show later, that showed there's actual like sexual innuendo as jokes in future games as well. It's like they never would have said this in previous games. Interesting that this is the turn that they've taken in the 2000s.
Also, Twin Sanity, I don't think has 4 playable characters. It's Crash, there's Cortex, there's Nina Cortex, and then I guess they're including Crash and Cortex as a duo together. That's it. I don't like that. You could have just gone with 3. I don't think it's that meager, you know.
Very true.
It's a strange advertisement.
Very true. Let's move on to the next one, which is this is some really, really funny stuff because they're making a joke that Cortex and Crash are gay. And that's, when I saw this, I went, that is funny. Because
comedy.
Because they're gay.
It's like you said, you know it when you see it.
Something about this picture tells me that there's more going on in this rivalry thing. So there's more Cortex fucking spanking Crash in the top there.
Yeah. Well, him specifically thinking about doing it.
That's what he's thinking about. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Crash wants to like what is that move called? Pile drive him? I don't know.
He wants to
slam his head into the ground.
He wants to break his neck and kill him.
Yeah. So I think if there was like if that was similar to a wrestling move or something.
I think that's just murder.
Also, one of the screenshots below, it's him riding on Cortex as Cortex rides on a rail with his crotch being the thing that makes.
Oh, that's fucking funny, dude.
That's Scooby-Doo level.
That's fucking funny, right?
I love that sort of humor.
It's really good and funny.
But not nearly as funny as gay.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Very funny. Dropping the bit for a second, like the the paintings of people, the people doing of like George Pell and Tony Abbott getting married, and it's like, I don't think you understand anything. Anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Just art, dude.
It's just funny, bro.
It's just a funny art joke that only art people get.
Yeah, like me. This is an ad for Wrath of Cortex, and I think it's called Crash Dash, which I have played, which is a GBA game. I remember
Crash XS.
Oh, that's
or
it. Yeah.
Crash the Huge Adventure.
Yeah.
Which I played enough times to just remember that.
I just remember that as the Crash that's on GBA. I remember it being pretty good, but
there's 2 actually. There's another one with Entrance, the Pink Egg Man.
I've seen that guy. I've seen that guy.
He's in racing, I'm pretty sure.
So this ad appears to be in French. Bianca, can you translate?
I'm pretty sure that's why I was having a bit of reaction. I'm pretty sure it says he will make them his, or he'll have them.
That's very close to what it is.
Yeah, I think it's like he'll make them his own or something.
Yeah, it's he needs them all.
Oh, he needs them all. Okay.
Yeah.
He needs them all. Okay.
Managed to liken various video game platforms to women to have sex with.
Yeah, I think that's I think that's what they're going for.
Like fucking Leisure Larry or some shit.
Leisure Suit Larry. Yeah.
Yeah.
A way more successful game than Crash Bandicoot. Let's copy that.
Perfect double bill. Crash Bandicoot, Wrath of Cortex, and Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Lord. Because that's the game that has cum in it.
They made a game called Leisure Suit Larry Magna Cum Lord.
Wait, is the game called Cum Lord or is it called Magna Cum Lorder?
Magna Cum Lord and LAUD and the main
it's not Cum Lord.
From memory, and I watched the trailer as a kid. It was very, very at a very affecting age. The main thing is that you're in a conversation with hot babes.
Oh,
trademark.
fuck yeah, dude.
And you got to control your sperm past little obstacles from left to right.
What?
Yeah. Look it up.
How did they
Go
make
ahead.
these games?
That's so funny, dude.
It's the time period.
Wow.
We'll stream
Okay.
it later, Bianca. It's fine.
Yeah.
What was that game that
But-
came out more recently that was about like a It was like a dating sim, but it was just about like
it was
one
like
dude.
the art of pickups, or it was like FMVs and stuff, right?
Yeah, and it was this really fucking like frankly unattractive dude sitting there on this bed with all these hot women in lingerie, like just
what's
lying
funny
there.
is-
Oh, you're
naked.
talking about
Naked.
Super Seducer?
Maybe I think so. Is that what it's called?
I
And
only
you have to, like
I tuned out way hard, but
that's
what
all
was
good.
saying?
It's got this really weird looking guy, and he's always sitting on a bed, and there's some like really like hot woman in lingerie, just kind of like sitting there looking at the camera, and like
Super Seducer.
that's it. There you
Yeah,
go.
the
Hold
Super
on.
Seducer. Yeah,
How to talk to girls.
I've watched a lot of.
Just on the off chance that somebody sees this,
Richard
Please.
LaRuina.
please do not learn how to talk to girls by playing Super Seducer. Because I saw
Reese?
a clip of it.
Reese, you need to know the Gar game literally banned on Twitch.
Yeah,
I'm not even
yeah.
kidding. The
Um,
Gar game is banned on Twitch, so we couldn't stream it if we wanted to.
some of the
Yeah.
girls in that game are underage.
Yeah.
That's why
There's
it's
lots
banned.
of he teaches you to neg women.
Yeah,
A great tactic, a great and healthy tactic and attitude to have.
I've watched lots of like let's play videos and stuff of that game 'cause it's really fucking funny.
Yeah.
But like the first game is like it is that, and then the second game is like way more. It's like way more self-aware, but then goes off in even more weird directions. But there's like references to people calling him like a fuckwit, for, like names of specific YouTubers. I'm pretty sure he makes a joke about like bombing Jim Sterling's house or something like that in the game.
Yeah.
What a
Or
funny joke.
something
What a
like
great
that.
joke.
Something like that. Yeah.
He's really cool about it, and him and all his friends are like really well adjusted and cool about it.
But that's the thing with like I know we're getting sidetracked, but who gives a shit? No, this is what this is all about. Actually, no, we're talking about video games. This is on topic.
It's on. Oh no, my computer's doing the holding down zero thing again.
Aw.
Oh my
rats.
god.
Well, luckily you're not
well-
running this presentation.
Lucky
Yeah.
I'm not running the presentation.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get into this. The dude's name Richard LaRuina. So when he talks, they're talking about like he's saying, "Oh, it's I'm just trying to help guys who can't get a date and that sort of stuff," and that's all fine. But then you get into the game and it's like gaslight them, and it's like,
Yeah.
maybe don't
You
do
can
that.
make him the worst bastard on earth if you want to, and he'll lecture you after. But it's like when games force you to kill and then try to make you feel bad about it. It's like, yeah, but I still did it. 'cause I had to.
But
Gave me the option.
oh
Like,
well, I mean, like
The Last of Us Part 2 episode will be coming shortly.
I mean, I was talking about like pickup artists specifically, not the game, because the game is sort of made to be a little bit tongue in cheek. I mean, a lot of tongue in cheek.
okay.
A lot of the second one in particular, like they film and have funny answers just to show funny scenes, so YouTubers can make videos and that sort of thing. But the first one, not that. But anyway, that's the thing with pickup artists is that they sort of disguise what they're doing, but like, oh, just helping people, and it's like by being incredibly unethical and lying to people and harassing people in some cases. Anyway, so Crash Bandicoot, big time player.
Although, just quickly, Bandit the Speed Demon says, were you aware of the fact that Crash Bandicoot can't have sex? I don't know if you have some, I don't know why that would be the case, but he can still be horny without having sex. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
That's
He
true.
can
Also,
still be a
Bandit, you're
very,
under the
very horny
impression
boy.
that he has to be having penetrative sex to be intimate with a partner. It's like, yeah, all right. So
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna be branching out too far out if we had to explain that one. So
Bandit Speed offered an explanation that is very very concise and great. Anyway, the next one is for actually I thought this was an old ad, but this looks like it's the second GBA game. But anyway,
it is the second GBA game. That is what I'm referring to. Yeah.
they're going for horny with this ad as well. Very
They really are,
far
yeah.
into horniness, which is
Although
not
the
appropriate.
child is temporary.
Yeah.
It's an odd choice to have that child in the photo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this ad is fucking atrocious from toe to tip. This is a bad one. It's a yikes for me, dog.
Yeah.
Gotta say though, the developer above the Game Boy Advance logo, Vicarious Visions, also known for the Crash Insane trilogy.
Oh yeah, but I'm sure they
Yeah.
weren't responsible for
I
this
mean,
ad.
Yeah, it's
I know
not
that has
their ad.
nothing to do
Yeah.
with the ad, but it's just
That is a very good thing. Very good thing to point out. So yeah, all the characters are male. When we do this comparison things, I try to have an even number, but there's only 2 female characters in the whole Crash franchise. This is what I'm going to refer to as
Fucking sexist game.
Yeah, as the Torna problem. This is how Torna is represented in one of 2 cutscenes that she appears in Crash 1. This is the first one. She's being held captive by
you
men.
hear Cortex going, "Prepare the female Bandicoot."
Yeah.
And it's like, that's it. That's all he said.
Not great.
Fire when ready.
But the whole concept of Torna being in the first game is that it's just like, here's... Oh, the GBA games were good, yeah. The point of Torna being in the game is it's supposed to be playing off the same trope as Mario, rescue the princess from the tower, blah, 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 blah.
Do you remember how she's portrayed in the Insane Trilogy, though? Or are we going to get to that?
Yes, we will get
the
there.
same cutscene in the Insane Trilogy. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that's the whole point of her. Crash 1, you're supposed to just go save her from being, I don't know, experience being done on her. And then they dropped the character after that because they were like, he's not horny. Maybe let's introduce a little sister character instead. Which confused a lot of people because whenever I talk to Crash with friends, everyone assumes that Coco is Crash's girlfriend. And it's like, mate, learn the lore, you fucking... what's the
Read up on the fucking Wikipedia page,
on the Crash Wiki.
Crash Wiki.
So when getting to answering the questions of whether Crash is horny or not, I think at this point, we can move on and start talking about... we can answer that question at this point. Well, I would like to answer the question, which implicitly the game's totally sexless. However, the advertising, because it was the late 90s, you had to try to make it edgy and cool and fun, so they went the other way. It's very silly. After Wrath of Cortex, it appears they may have gotten actually more edgy in the games themselves, talking about fucking... There's one in particular that I will talk about coming up later. But anyway, the evolution of Torna, she gets done some justice in the later games. This is how she looks a lot cooler. I don't know if she really has anything else going on other than that, but she looks like she has more going on. She looks like she has muscles too, which is cool. Crash 4 is where we get new queer icon Torna, the cool Torna.
Yeah, with like leg warmers and stuff, like a time warrior basically.
Yeah, I haven't played Crash 4 yet, so I don't know what her role exactly is, but they've decided to turn her into like the coolest looking character in the series, which is an interesting way to go, but I'm here for it.
She looks like Natalie Dormer, like...
Oh, that's why.
And I'm totally okay with it.
The other thing too, this is technically not the same Torna as the original games. This is an alternate dimension Torna.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they're basically starting fresh, but at no point does the real Torna come up. So this is Torna for Crash 4. This is
She's dead. So this is the remade cutscene. You guys might have to watch on the stream.
I've seen this cutscene.
Oh, actually, I meant
I'm
to.
watching it.
Oops. I meant to do the. There we go. So this is like the height of horniness, which isn't saying much, but that I mean to say. I meant to play this end scene. I think there's 2 different versions of this. One is for like 100%, I think.
Possibly.
Because there's one where they're on a Zeppelin as well.
Harrison raises a point. Have we talked about the hidden horny Easter egg in Crash 2?
Horny Easter egg?
That I'm going to need to be reminded of, I'm afraid.
I've never actually finished Crash 1, so I don't know. Actually, I think this is the original. This is the horny.
I'm going to bring up... Harrison is luckily...
Oh yeah, he's posted a video for us.
Cool.
Okay, so it's in the Japanese version. Okay, thank you.
Wait, did they kiss? I need to see if they kissed or not. One sec. No, she just picked him up and hugged him because he's a short king. Oh my god, that's embarrassing. Okay, I'm going to embed this video. Thank you.
Harrison, this is clearly like an ad they put in the game. You know, it's not quite. Oh, okay. So there's a bit where he's lounging with a girl in a swimsuit. So I don't know.
Is this in the game?
I would believe that it is. Yes, it's not a rickroll that Harrison.
Oh, I don't know if you can play this. I don't know if you can play this. There's
like 2.5 minutes long.
There's a Japanese woman in a swimsuit. I'm pretty sure Twitch will freak out.
It looks to be like an ad that one of the many live action ads that they made in Japan featuring the Crash Bandicoot song.
I haven't heard it.
And I imagine they included one in the menu, so only accessible here by hitting left circle L1 and R1 when starting the game. Okay, like it's not explicitly horny. You make it sound like Tomb Raider, naked Lara Croft kind of levels of horny. It's not quite that.
No, it's not. You're not watching it for the horny.
No.
Yeah.
I'm watching it because you like the Japanese ads. You know.
I really,
many did.
I wanted to bring up this next one. I believe this is from Twinsanity. This is Torna as an Easter egg. I don't really understand what the entire context is. However,
oh yeah, there's that's probably in the level when you're snowboarding on Cortex, the Humil skate that we saw earlier. I think that's just a bit of scenery from that. No real context.
yeah. But so they skate through it, and then there's jokes like, Cortex says, "Oh, you don't see it, obviously," but Cortex goes, "Oh, are those real?" Which is very inappropriate.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they go through the boudoir, and all these women are going like Animal House.
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, mother, oh,
mother,"
like his mother is in there, which is also a very funny joke.
At the time, I thought you saw those ads earlier. They claim like Twinsanity is the funniest Crash game ever made, and at the time, like, yeah, sure, there were more jokes.
More jokes doesn't mean funnier.
Yeah, but Crash 4 has made me laugh out loud consistently, like in a good way.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, it's surprisingly funny game.
That's good to hear. We're getting close to wrapping up as well. But this was from some Crash game. I don't know if this is Japanese as well, but I've never heard of it.
Crash Boom Bang for DS.
Yeah, I've never heard of this before.
Party game.
Yeah.
Games.
It looks like a Mario Party sort of thing as well.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you can select Torna in that. It says Torna, the blonde bombshell, is crazy about Pinstripe.
Which is news to me.
Are you fucking kidding?
Yeah.
Pinstripe?
This Crash is 1,000 times more handsome than Pinstripe. Come on now.
I was going to include him, but I just
forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little 5-foot mousy boy that lives in the walls.
5 piece of shit boys.
There's nothing wrong with short people, just to clarify.
No.
Just a little Easter egg
this
from last
particular short
night's
guy is a
stream.
piece of shit.
This is Pinstripe on the side here.
Mid-boss fight. When
Yes.
it's like peppering the room with bullets. Yeah.
So yeah, apparently, when did this become hotter than this? Crash, etc. Film the meme. Yeah, I just thought that was interesting. But yeah, that's it for this presentation. Crash is horny because it came out, because it's of its era. Marketing was horny.
Yeah.
I have something to add. And of course I can't edit the thing anymore because I can't search any images on Google because my keyboard is stuck typing in 0.
Of course.
I don't know why.
Of course.
But the in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled, they added in as playable, like as races that you could pick, the 3 like trophy girls from the original Crash Team game. So
they added
the podium girls, yeah.
I mean, they added in a lot of different playable races to that game.
It is easier to name the characters that didn't make it in.
Yeah. And
Honestly.
I can't remember their names. They all had names, but they were very forgettable. They were just like regular names, like L or like, Jane or something. Like they're just random names.
Yeah.
They're incredibly horny. They're incredibly horny models. They're not like wearing anything particularly horny, but just whoever
There's one on
has.
this first slide.
Is there? Sorry,
Yeah.
I totally missed that.
No, it's okay. I'm just bringing the first slide up on the stream so everyone can see.
Oh, yeah. So it would have been, an updated model of an updated model for all of them. And I remember when they were during the first like season, I guess, of Crash, they were the reward for playing a shitload of Crash, was getting to unlock those characters. One of them was called Liz, actually. I remember one was called Liz.
If you want to jump to the last slide, I just put a bunch of pictures on them of them.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's a very Spice Girls energy. I think that's absolutely what they're aping.
Yeah. And yeah, whenever I saw somebody using these skins when I played online, I was like, you are a furry and that's okay, and I accept you, and I'm glad you have your representation in this game.
You just let them win and they were confused, and you felt good about the whole affair.
Yeah.
Good to know. They also all have the same shoes on, but in different colours, except for Torna.
They're all matching.
Yeah.
I'm just sad that Bearminator has not made it. Brandon, do you remember who Bearminator is?
No, is it the bear that chases you?
The first boss in Crash Bash, of course.
Oh, how could I forget?
He's in a tank and he shoots you, and boy, howdy, do we remember that.
I don't remember at all. I'm going to look it up.
Our pal, the Bearminator. He's got like a tiny tiger mouth. He's tiny, but he's a polar bear. That's it. And he's got a captain's hat. That's it. But like, and fans have already made renders of him. Also, speaking of like funny renders, they added Rillaroo. As many fans demanded, they took creative liberty with his face. People didn't like it, and so they added in a Rillaroo with a face that was more accurate to the Crash Bash version of Rillaroo. So now there are 2 Rillaroos in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fuel Team.
I did not know.
Rillaroo and Rillaroo fixed. That's the level we're operating on. There's also an unlockable iron checkpoint box racer.
A what?
Just cause.
Iron, like a steel, like a checkpoint box, but it's made out of steel, as some boxes are in Crash Bandicoot, and that's the driver. Just sits in the cart and goes.
Not for me. I haven't played it in a while. I haven't played it since they implemented real life microtransactions.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Before they were only fake microtransactions.
When I saw the wall of like time limited upgrades, I'm like, wow, okay, this is why this game got made.
Yeah. Anyway, Activision gonna Activision. What are you gonna do?
Yep. But I gotta say, not a lot of. I mean, there's unlockable skins, and like one of them you get by starting an Activision account and logging in, which is a bit dirty. But for the most part, Crash 4 is just Crash, man. It's just Crash.
Yeah. I'm very keen to play it.
Oh yeah, it's excellent. I'm keen to stream it too. I'm playing too. I'll talk more about that on the Discord and other places when I'm ready to. But yeah, I'll definitely stream more of it.
Hell yeah.
Guys, you'll be pleased to know that I think I figured out what was causing my zero problem. So
was it a piece of gum?
No, I think so. I have one of these bad boys. I have the fucking mouse little buttons on it because I play MMOs. And one of them is bound to 0, and it's the one that I press the most because it's in a really good spot to press, and I think it just gets stuck sometimes. So all that, I was like contemplating having to take my keyboard back because it just kept randomly doing it, but I think it's my.
What's the application you had to fix it through? Was it like some?
Yeah, it's a SteelSeries branded mouse, and that's how I realized that was the only thing that would be constantly pressing 0. And I realized what button it was mapped to because I don't know what it's mapped to. I just press it and I had set it up to be numpad 0 or something. But I just pressed it a bunch of times and it got unstuck. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. And now we'll never get stuck again.
Yeah, never again.
Jedi Academy will continue.
Jedi Academy will continue. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'm sure everybody was hanging on tenterhooks waiting for my update about what was happening with my keyboard, so I thought I'd give the people what they want. You know?
It is the single funniest way to end the stream on X and Y.
That stream was a mess. Stream was a total mess. I couldn't play the video. I kept the waiting room screen up for ages.
It's been a while. It's fine.
Hang on. Before we go,
good screen to end this presentation on, I gotta say.
Yeah.
Well done, me.
Yeah, it was good. They're all lined up together like that.
Oh, so gotta play some
that
more.
we arrived at this point. So like Activision Crash, probably a bit horny. Pure Crash, Naughty Dog Crash, OG. Not really.
True. Something-
Just do the best.
Activision knows what sells.
Yeah, they really do. They really do.
It's remakes of our games. I'm going to play this audio that the Twitch people have to listen to.
Like big boys, itty bitty boys.
Little 5'8" little
It's
piece
the-
of shit
it's the
boys.
thing.
5'8" little mousy boys that live in
The
the walls,
wall.
crawl around for
Jeez. 5'8" piece of shit, boys. Anyway.
Oh yeah.
Thanks for joining us. Very much appreciate it.
Do you wanna raid somebody?
Is there anyone streaming?
Sure. Let me. I think I could, because I'm logged in as X&Y on my keyboard here. Let me give it a.
What is
I'll go.
Minecraft Earth? We can raid Toad's video.
I'm doing it. I just did it.
Hell yeah.
Hey.
Hell yeah.
Alright.
First raid.
Can I end this stream though without breaking anything? Wait, raid now. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Go raid them. Bye everyone.
All right, and I can end the stream. Okay, bye.
Yeah.